Okay. Get ready, it says. Why? Only my, it doesn't look, extreme health is, okay, my stream health, it says my stream health might not be doing so well. Can you guys hear me or anything? Oh my goodness. Feels really good to be around, I tell ya. I've been having such an up and down couple of months. It's been ridiculous. Hello, Renee and Cryptid. What are you guys up to? Hey, Seuss, what's up, man? I need to fit. Now, you guys can hear me, right? Can't see the chat. I put my camera in front of it. Hi, Rachel. How are you? Yeah, man. What a couple of months, or I don't even know how long it's been, really. Um, I started having some problems just like right off the gate with my health, and it was my blood pressure. It was 90 over 40 or something like that. Every time I stood up, my eyes would go dark because there was not enough blood. You know, I would stagger around and my heart would race. And then, because I have heart problems, I started having heart attacks. And because the heart was trying to pump the blood around the body without the blood pressure, and then I would be fine, and then the blood pressure would go up to like 190 over 120. It was like ridiculous, up and down, and I it was really messing with me. And I didn't do very much of anything. I mostly stayed down, and we played around. The doctors played around with my meds, and we finally got it stabilized. Stabilized good enough that I've been feeling okay for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. Enough that I'm going to go out with Adolf tomorrow. We're going to go look for the giant birds that's being reported that I've been hearing about, and I guess he's been told about a few too. So we're all going to be out and about tomorrow. Hi, Connie. Hey, Cryptid. Lewis, what's up? T. Okay, 1B Tech. Is that what it is? Oops. 1B Tech, right? Yeah, there we go. I'm still on, right? I just hit a button I shouldn't have hit. Cool. Yeah, so, there's been a few things I did want to talk about. And one of them, like right before I kind of dropped out of view from everyone, I did we did the Memorial Day thing, and we did 2 weekends in a row. And then me and Adolf did a couple of trips up in the hills. Only I have videos of all of that I edited and put up. The only one I didn't do was the Memorial Day trips. Hi Rita, what are you doing? Wow, I think I can go over here. No? Yeah. Um, yeah, so the only thing that I haven't put any video up is the trips, the Memorial Day trips. There we go. Fix Rita up. Rita is now. You should have the little wrenches, Rita. And man, what a trip, huh? That was such a great. the Memorial Day trip was great, and I have a lot of video. I have um, a little bit of footage from the drone, but not very much because something happened to the drone. And now I've flown it quite a bit. Me and Adolf go out and I fly it all over the place, up and down the rivers, in the mountains, all over. I've flown it, and when we got to the spot, and I first morning, when we first got there, we saw something, and we're not sure what it is, but we saw something. And then that night, there was some things walking around the camp, and I had put a little light out, motion activated light, and Jeff took a nap, and I started playing with this motion activated light, a little LED motion activated light, like $5 at grocery outlet, and I I put I set it in the sun and charge it up all day long, and then that night I started playing with it, and I set it by the tent door. That way, when Jeff came out, it would turn on. But before he came out, I played with it a little bit. I set it on a log, and it would stay on for a few minutes. Then it would go off, and then I'd walk by it and turn it back on. Well, it would work perfect. I would walk by it, it would come on, and then I'd go sit down, and it would be on for a few minutes, and it would go off, and then I would get up and walk by it, and it would come on. And I did that about 4 times, and then I went and set it over by the tent door on a table, and that way when Jeff woke up and came out, it would come on. Well, it came on, and then he came and sat down by the fire with me, and we were talking, and then it went on. And I asked him if it was okay if I left it there. He didn't know what I was doing, and he said, "Sure, yeah, that's no problem." So I left it, and we went in, and we were going to bed, but we weren't going to bed. We're not going to go to sleep. He had a mixer board set up with some headphones on it, and he had 2 microphones outside, and at this point we couldn't record, but I did record. There was something out there moving around, and I turned the headset up to where it was loud on the headset, and then I put my cell phone in between right inside the headset, and I recorded it that way. And there was something walking around outside of our tent. Now, what was weird about it was the light, when we went in to go, to get in bed and not come out for the night, the light stayed on, and it stayed on, and it stayed on, and I don't know if it ever went off. It might have stayed on all night. I don't know. It malfunctioned. Something happened where that light stayed on. But we were listening to this thing walking around out there, and then all of a sudden it grabbed the mic, and it was doing that, and you could hear it grabbing this and messing with the microphone. And man, and I started recording that. I got some of it, and you could hear steps, like with the leaves crunch, 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 as it would move around. But it wasn't moving around like crunch, crunch, crunch like that. It would be crunch, crunch, crunch. And I thought, man, what the heck, And that's when I took my phone and took the headphones off, and I put my phone in there. So the next morning, I'm thinking, man, that afternoon, 3 trees were pushed over, and we saw one of them actually fall, and they were all within, I don't know, 20 feet of each other. So 3 trees got pushed over all in the same area. So when I got up in the morning, I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't wait to get the drone up in the air, and I want to fly around and get it really high up so that I could see a lot of real estate and down in the creek bottom, and try to check out where the trees fell and see if I could see anything, hiding or getting away, with the sound of the drum. And I got it up in the air, and it was about uh, it was about I want to say like 250 feet up, and you're not allowed to fly over 400 feet. So I was pushing to get it up to around 400. I might have been at 300, 320 feet up. And then I moved forward towards where the trees went down, and I probably only went about 75 feet from me. Okay, so it's 300 feet up, and then only 75 feet away, which isn't far for, I've flown it a half a mile, 2 miles away from me in the mountains. I mean, I went down, followed it, the creeks, and flown the drone all the way down the creek, and then flew it backwards all the way back, and I've done a bunch of drone stuff, and I never had any problems at all. Well, I kind of got it right about 328 feet, I think, and then 75 or so feet away from me, and then all of a sudden I lost control of the drone. And I had no control. My screen just kind of dimmed out. I could see everything, and I could see the drone was still locked into around 15 GPS satellites. So I mean, everything was fine. It was just sitting there hovering. All of a sudden, the camera started panning, going up and down, and it started focusing itself. And it's a manual focus, so you have to focus it with the controller. And I seen it refocus a couple times, and then it started flying away from me. And it didn't go up in altitude, and there's a fail-safe button you could hit. You could hit home or go home, and it'll go home and it'll land right where it took off. It takes GPS coordinate. It'll lift off the landing pad and fly like 3 feet above the landing pad. It'll take a picture of the landing pad. There's little cameras on the bottom where it can look at the landing pad. It'll take a picture of it, and then it'll record the settings of the satellite GPS. And if you hit go home from anywhere, it could be 5 miles away, it'll fly back. I have it set where it'll go 150 feet up. That way, or 100, it's 175 feet. But high enough where if I'm flying around in the trees and I run into trouble, it'll go straight up and then fly back and land. And it won't run into any trees and crash. So the thing is flying itself, it's flying around, it flies like a W pattern. And then all of a sudden it starts telling me it's going home. It's like whoever was flying it hit the go home button. And I hit it like 3 times. I reset, I turned off the controller, turned the controller back on, trying to get control of it. I mean, that freaked me out real bad right there, was turning the controller off. But I didn't know what else to do. I could not get control. I was running down the hill to get right under it. I mean, it wasn't even far from it, maybe 90 feet. I mean, not far. And I couldn't get control of it. And all of a sudden it said it was going home. The lady's voice came across my phone saying, going home, landing, landing. And it took off and flew right back and landed right on the heliport little pad that I have. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not flying it again. That scared me pretty good. I was like, oh no. Oh, you guys don't have wrenches? I can take care of that. I sure can. Let's see. Rachel gets a wrench. Let's see, add moderator. Who else? Jaden gets a wrench. Hi, Jaden. I give everybody a wrench. That way you guys can hit each other with them. I think I gave Rita a wrench already. Did I? You have a wrench already? Yeah. Rita has a wrench. Oops. What did I do? No. Well, I'll go back to here. So now you all should have wrenches here in a second. I just put them on. Oh, Shauna. Shauna wants a wrench. Hi, Shauna. Yeah, so, man, I was so tripping out on that. Let me see. How do I get the chat back? I clicked on something. Analytics, stream hell. I want show chat. Here we go. Okay, so Rachel has it and Shauna has it. Who said they didn't have one? Everybody say something. And Adolph, I'll see you in the morning, buddy. I am so looking forward to it. I got it all charged up. I'm ready to go, man. Ah, there we go. What's up, Sasquatch man? Yeah, there we go. He's modded. Let me see. Okay, so we gotta go back over here. Oh, Shauna, yeah, Shauna. You don't have a wrench. Okay, there we go. I think everybody has a wrench so far. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this screen. Yeehaw! Yeah, now I need a wrench. Jeez, I feel left out. I want a wrench. I don't think I'm gonna go with Jeff to Area 51. I know he's been calling for a cameraman to go with him, and I probably could do it, but he thinks I can't walk that far. And actually, I can walk as far as ever now, you know. And now that my heart and blood pressure are all back to normal, I'm good to go again, really. And I see somebody without a wrench. Let me see. Okay. But yeah, I probably would go, only I have more fun going without Jeff most of the time. You know, when we go with Jeff, it's mostly all about Jeff and what Jeff wants to do and what Jeff, you know, all that kind of thing. And I want to go, if I go, I want to go have some fun and hang out with everybody and um, enjoy things and probably not take pictures of him while, you know, follow him with the camera and everything. I rather like take video of all the stuff and maybe drive around and go to the gate and see if anybody really does try to storm the place. I mean, I would want to do that. That sounds like so much fun. But if you guys want to go and hang out with Jeff, that's okay with me. I mean, I don't have nothing wrong with that. Yeah, like right now, I'm avoiding my grandkids. They have no idea I'm doing this video. They've been freaking out all day as I set this stuff up. Oh man, I want to be on. I want to be on the camera. I need to practice. They had the microphone and everything, and they were singing to themselves. I recorded some of it. I thought about playing it for you guys, but my daughter said, no, I don't want my children's face on video. But it's so cute, and it was so fun, only it wore me out. Oh my God, they have a lot of energy. They're bouncing all over the bed behind me. But this is my new studio right here. I finally, my phone, now, something about kids, okay? Any iPads, laptops, tablets, anything like that. Every time I get a hold of one, it's dead. It has a bazillion games on it that I have no idea what they are, but every time, like, I find my phone, it's dead. When I find my tablet, it's dead. The laptop, dead. So finally, I said, you know, my phone is totally off limits, and I put a passcode on it so they can't get in it. even though they've asked me a dozen times today, what's my passcode, I'm not giving it up. It's mine. And and I did the same thing with my computer. No more, that this is mine. And I deleted, 50 some odd apps off of it. I don't know how they could get so many apps. I didn't know there was so many apps. Oh my God. But yeah, and I came in and set this all up, and I'm gonna kind of keep it half set up so I can just come in and flip it on and come on anytime and talk with you guys, because I miss it so much. If it would have been like this, I think even when I wasn't feeling well, I would have put a bag over my head so you couldn't see me because I didn't look too good, and come on and talk with you guys. Or I would have put a picture up, we would have chatted where you can't see me, because man, I did not look good, I'll tell you that much. Boy, I wonder if I can do it right here. Ito doesn't have a wrench. Hey Ito, what's up? Now Ito has a wrench. He's deadly. Everybody's armed and dangerous to anybody coming around. Oh wait, Protean doesn't have a wrench. Everybody's armed and dangerous, man. We got to keep everybody, there's so much going on right now. We got to have everybody, armed. If you see somebody coming, smack them with a wrench, okay? All right, I think I got everybody covered. Man, that was a good video today. I dig Daytona. I enjoyed that one. I know you didn't find very much. It seems like the beaches are getting combed pretty thoroughly, huh? It's almost time for to bust out that one you sent me. Man, there's going to be some gold in the creeks this year, man, for sure. I can hardly wait, really. Let's see if you can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball. Yeah. So out there, on that weekend, it was so good. The first weekend that we went on the second weekend. We planned to go back on the very next weekend, and then we were going to debunk what we think we saw on a log. And I know Jeff showed all this stuff, and I'm going to edit a little, hour thing and show some of the stuff that I videotape, because Jeff doesn't run around with a camera at all. He like cherry picks, so when he finds something really interesting, that's when his camera comes on. That's the only one of the reasons I don't have the video edited already, is I have the camera running all the time. When you're in that area right there, any given second something can step out and be in front of you, and I don't want to like grab the camera and then turn it on, or go through all that process. I want to turn around and go, whoa, they say hi, say cheese or whatever, and get them on video. So I pretty much have the thing running the whole time. So I have 4 days of video to go through to make a video. And then not all of it is, video or, good enough to go into a video, but there's a lot of good stuff in it. But I have to go through all the videos. Sometimes I would pause it, and we would be having talking and stuff like that, and I would pause it for half an hour or an hour, and then I'd turn it back on again. When we eat, I would turn it off. So the videos there's videos, and so I have to go through all of them and find the stuff I want to show. Like there's some poop. I know this sounds dumb, but there's some poop that I found. It was black and it had hair in it, and it was a big pile. There was 2 big old piles I found. It looked kind of like bear poop, but it wasn't bear poop. Hi, Christina. Let me wrench up Christina, man. I can't have her just to have something to defend herself with in case somebody tries to wrench her. Okay, Christina's wrenched. If you hear something, see something, wrench them. And that's what I always say. Yeah, I thought about that 360-degree camera. I haven't used it yet, but I have a GoPro. I want to buy. I don't think I'm gonna buy the. I bought. I have a GoPro, but then I have that $50 GoPro knockoff with 4 or 5 batteries came with it, and I was been playing around with them trying to figure out is it worth paying three, four, five, $700 for a little bitty camera, or is the 50 something dollar one just as good? And they're just as good. I don't see any difference. So now I'm working on I'm gonna like have one in front of me and one behind me. I want to put when we're driving into the areas or we're driving around, I want to put some on the car or the truck, have one on the front fender aiming forward, and have one on the back, and maybe one up on top. I would love to have a 360 camera higher up where as you move around, you could do that. And I would love to get a FLIR. I saw that the new drones that they're called Mavic Pro 2 or something like that, Mavic Pro 2s, or they have a FLIR on it. They have 2 cameras on these drones, and they're consumer drones. I mean, you have to pay $1,500 or $1,600 for the drone, but it's just like the drone I have, but it has a better camera. It can zoom even, and then it has a FLIR on it built on. And the only reason I even know about it is the police department bought some, and they were talking about them and showing them off. And I realized we can buy those. I looked them up and was like, oh my God, what? That would be cool. Because they say you can't fly at night, but when you're in the woods, way out in the middle of nowhere, who knows? You can fly it at night. And actually, the heat camera can even find things in the day. It isn't just good in the night. How's it going, James, my brother? Ah, man, see, that's pretty cool. Over there where you're at, Christina, oh my God. I'm sure you're going to see something over there. I mean, lots of wildlife, but you have also the ancient ones running around. I mean, could get some video of them probably easily, probably, because they don't know, at least I don't think they know, the technology. Like, I think they don't, we can never get them in IR because they can see in the IR range, the infrared range with their eyes. So when we would turn on infrared, it would go out of range of it. And when we would turn it off, it would come back in closer. When we turn it back on, it would go just out of range again. But FLIR, there's no light. You know what I mean? There's nothing. They don't see anything. It doesn't show anything. Oh my gosh. Catch up. Wow. I would love to hear what happened today. See, I want to go over there camping again, but I know it's more difficult than it used to be. I thought about asking my cousin Joe and Jamie and them and see if I could go camping. Maybe they could take me camping. I don't know. But not with no who, Gonzo, no Gonzo. Just camping. Yeah, you know what? Somebody else has been telling me that cryptid that Avocado Lake is get crazy right now. In fact, a lot of people have been scared out of there in the evening time. Is from what I hear. So yeah, cool. We'll have to make some plans. I got a good tent. or my son does. He'll let me borrow it. It pops up. It's like a 10-man tent, and it pops up in 60 seconds. Sets up in 60 seconds. It's really nice. They have another one that pops up like that, and it's dark. Like the inside of it's blacked out, so you could have it up in the day, and it's cooler inside, and it also is totally dark. If you stay up all night, listening and stuff, and then you could black it out. But I know you have those cabins. They black out pretty good when you close the wood shutter doors. It stays pretty dark in there in the daytime. So I could stay awake all night long and then sleep in there in the day. Yeah, just me, nobody else. I'm ready to go camping at Courtright. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get a few people together. Man, too bad we didn't have a trailer. Oh my God. I always get kind of creeped when I'm in a tent. But I can do it, but it's creepy. I mean, I guess you'd have to go camping with me a few times to know why I get creeped out in a tent. I mean, it gets creepy. Yeah, that's what I heard, Cryptid. I heard something's been running the people out of there. That there's something going on again at Avocado Lake. I have no idea. One of the things I do know is these big giant birds are out there that I don't know that they say like maybe it's pterodactyls. I don't know, but big birds. Yeah, I got a van. I'll sleep in my van. I keep forgetting, man. I could take the chairs out of it. I can sleep in my van. I feel safer in my van. Set the alarm on it. Bigger than condors, like the size of a Cessna is what I'm hearing. 14 foot wingspan, and the bodies are around 10 feet long. The body is 10 feet long. Greetings to you. The Kings River has been having sightings, yes. So greetings to you. Doesn't have a wrench. Gotta take care of that. Let's see. Can't have anybody naked. Everyone has to have a blue wrench. Yeah, they're huge. They're huge. I have some friends that where I used to live up in the foothills. They told me they saw two of them around 11 o'clock at night, and they were outside his house in the front yard. He doesn't know what they were doing, but he said they hopped around like robins. You know how, like on 2 feet hopping, the birds hop? Said they were hopping like that. Their eyes glowed red, and they were over 7 feet tall. And there was two of them. And that was over by a reservation, actually. Cold Springs Reservation, just outside of Cold Springs. No way, I'm not going to get near the tent wall. Jeff, he has that. I'm not getting close to the wall. Let's see. See, now every time, this last few times that I went camping, something's been walking around our tent and throwing things at the tent all night long, little pebbles and sticks and stuff like that. And you find them on the outside of the tent, like along the back of the tent. There'd be all these little sticks and pebbles and stuff like that, all where it hit the tent. It would hit the top of the tent and then roll off. And it's unnerving. It's unnerving because it keeps happening, and then you can hear talking. You don't understand what they're saying, but you can hear the talking. It's kind of like off in the distance, and then wood knocks and all kinds of stuff going on. And I don't sleep too good, when that stuff happens. It gets pretty scary. How's it going, Brown Dwarf? I've been checking out your videos, man. Good videos. Fine Cold Creek. See, that's what my buddies told me. They said they only what they saw had no feathers. It was only skin, and they said when they flew off, they could the wings made a really loud noise, like what you're saying, a real loud noise. But they didn't make any noise like squawking or anything like that. They were saying they think they were pterodactyls. That's what they said. But they called their dad. They're young. They're young. They're high school kids, and it was their grandma's house, and nobody lives there anymore. But they keep the house up. And in the summertime, they go in, they hang out and stay there, and the family uses it like a cabin. And they were there to clean it all up. And he dropped them off with a couple of quads and a couple of shotguns and a bunch of tools, like weed whackers and stuff like that. And the very first night that happened, and they called their dad the next morning, really that night around midnight, and the dad told them they're staying all night. So they didn't sleep. They just sat there in the room with their shotguns staring out the window. And then they were worried about the other side of the house, but they were too afraid to split up. So they just sat in the one window. Otherwise, one would have went to the other side. They were all freaked out. They didn't want to go outside at all. They said whatever it was could carry them off. So I believe them. I know right where that creek is. Pine Gold Creek. Yeah, it is. I heard of that. Jeff read a report. Pterosaur in Fresno. Yeah. See, I've been told about that. What's kind of cool is I know all the same people Jeff knows. He has some work people that I don't know, but like friends. I mean, we hung out doing a show for a long time, so sometimes they'll tell him and they'll tell me about it through Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. I've been kind of like getting. I've been kind of keeping myself. I've been more like trying to go my own way, though, more. That I'm not interested in. Not interested in. I worked my butt off getting them to where they are, where to a certain point, and then I'm not good enough anymore. So he's on his own. He keeps saying I'm the only one here. Well, yeah, he is. I'm the only one here too, but I'm not having any problems, believe me. At least I don't think so. No, I'm totally green. I'm good. I just worry about my sound because I can't hear the video, so only you guys can hear if my sound is up or down or too much or too high or whatever. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I can't really check it. All I can go by is the green lights. If I'm going in the red, I'm too hot, so I just keep it down a little bit. Yeah, that we went on that we went on that report of the guy. The guy saw. I interviewed that guy that saw the cow being dragged over the hill, and it was a full-size cow. And then 1 year later, I had some friends um, tell me that they saw, and they watched the show too, and they told me I was in the wrong place when I went out there. But I went out a week later. They saw a bear, what they thought was a bear, drinking water out of the Millerton Lake, and it was exactly across the lake, exactly. And it's actually a narrow part of Millerton where, like, there's the main body of Millerton, then it narrows down and then it gets wide again. And there's a house that sits out on a peninsula. That's where the guy, on that peninsula, that's where the guy saw the cow being dragged over the hill. And then right across the peninsula, there's a boat ramp, boat ramp. And some people saw what they thought was a bear had its face in the water, drinking water. And everybody got excited and started running over that way towards it, and it turned and looked at him and stood up and then took off walking at a fast pace and kept looking back at him, and it freaked them out. They all ran the other way then, but they're all running. But yeah, pretty cool stuff, man. And it makes you know they're everywhere around here. I mean, my pharmacy tech saw one he was almost to Kermit, on Belmont, driving, west, away from the mountains actually, and into the middle of the valley, and he saw one cross the road, freaked him out. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and he was actually taking that road because the main highway, people were shooting at cars. So everybody was driving a different way. And he never really drove that way, and he took Belmont, which is like one street over, and then this Bigfoot comes walking out right in front of his car. He said it was huge. He didn't know. He said somewhere around 10 feet tall. Scared him really bad. He said it took, like, from the 2 steps, and it crossed the road 2 steps. The road's really wide right there. I mean, Belmont is a wide road. You just don't take 2 steps. In fact, me and Adolf went out there, and I was guessing where, from his description, I was guessing where he said it crossed the road, and we nailed it exactly where it crossed the road. I showed him the video, but there was a dead hawk, right on that spot, and that was kind of weird. A little bit weird, right there. And I like, it's cool when you guys get the wrench, all your names turn blue. That's cool. I like that. It's easier to read, because when you don't have a wrench, all your guys' names are white. So then everything runs together kind of. No kidding, Brown Dwarf. I bet they do like beer. I bet they do. But I bet they would just run off at the whole thing, man. Just grab the whole ice chest and run off. And that's funny. The wrench means that you're a moderator. You can kick people out. Like if somebody comes in and starts cussing or being a bad person, you all have the power to wrench them. You can kick them out of the chat room, ban them, do whatever you want. Yeah, right. Greetings to you. That is exactly right. I have some friends that live up at Pine Ridge, if you know where that is, above the 4-lane. And for the last 2 years, at certain times of the year, and right now is that time of the year, the winter not so much, but they have howling coming from on the Redinger Lake side, the $1 Million Road down Jose Basin, down by that side of the hill. And they're hearing it screaming and keeping everybody at Meadow Lakes and everybody up there all awake at night. And they're freaking out up there still. I mean, they're kind of getting used to it, but when they have to get out and open the gate or something to get into their property, they're freaked. They've been packing. because whatever it is sounds huge, and they know it's not a dog. And things have been coming up missing too. Like somebody told me they had 60 cats, that because people go up there and drop cats, and dogs and stuff like that, get puppies, and they just go out and drive way over there, and then just drop them out, drop a bag or a box of puppies out. So, and then they find their house. These strays find them, and they had all these little animals, and all of a sudden they're down to just a couple. And so something's been eating all. I know coyotes and stuff and bobcats eat little dogs and cats, but they said, they've been living up there 30 something years, and all of a sudden it's not just one or two missing. Now it's like 30 missing, way different. Yeah, really loud, really loud. That's what they're saying. Keeping them awake, waking them up loud, really loud. I put my camera right in front of the chat. Isn't that a bummer? I guess I could go this way. Yeah, right, Christina. I remember that. I remember that day or evening, and we were sitting there, and the cat started meowing behind that little tree. That was the most trippiest thing. And there was no cat. I mean, I even went looking around. Me and your son, we went looking around. There was no cat anywhere. We didn't find a cat. I think he even looked under the cabin. There was no cats. But we kept hearing it. Yeah, that was weird. Really weird. Yeah, they're invisible until they stand up. And then they're like 10 feet tall, giant people that sound like a cat, like a kitty. That's pretty good. Wow, were you up at the big trees? And I want to take my drone over there, fly my drone around the big trees. I actually want to measure how big some of those trees are, so I could take off from the bottom of it and then fly all the way to the top of it, and then see what the altitude of the drone is, and we can see exactly how tall those trees are. Those are some big ass trees that you have there. I mean, big. Some of them probably, if you got 20 guys and held hands, you probably couldn't go all the way around holding hands and lock hands all the way around it. Those are big trees, big redwoods. And if you weren't so far, I'd be over there with my drone so fast, round wharf, so quick. And that's what I want to show. What you're talking about right now, greetings. Over at the spot when we did the Memorial Day thing, there was destruction everywhere, and there was X's. The trees, 3 trees got pushed over, and I'm talking about the trees are like this big around, big old trees, like a telephone pole sized tree, and they got pushed over, and actually snapped. They were snapped over. 3 of them, and all within 20 feet of each other. So I mean, like, if a tree falls, it would be like, oh wow, dang, I heard a tree fall, and it was like, wow, and then 20 minutes later another one, and I saw it, and it was like, whoa, you could hear it starting to go over, and I looked over and I seen it go over, and then about hour later, I was somewhere where I couldn't look over there and fast enough, get to where I could see it. And another one went down, 3, all in the same spot. And so then it was like, okay, 1, that could be anything pushed it over, right? 2, that's kind of a coincidence that 2 of them in one spot, and I saw one of them. But then 3 in the same spot, it was like, okay, that's going beyond coincidence right there. That's something's over there pushing trees down. You know what I mean? That's what I started thinking. Oh, cool. Right on, Christina. I'll keep mum's a word. I don't share unless you tell me. Yeah, I only talk about what I know I can talk about. Yeah, totally natural for three trees to fall within 10 feet of each other. Yep, I think so too. Yeah, like the Yosemite thing, there's some other stuff going on in Yosemite too, Ground Dwarf. There's rocks getting pushed off. Now, I lived in Yosemite, okay? I lived there, right in a campground for all summer long. And then my parents worked in Yosemite, and then we moved to El Portal. But we were always in the park, always. And I grew up over there. There was people reporting Bigfoots even back then. And that was like the 60s. But there's boulders that are being pushed off, and they think they're being pushed. And some of the trees, like a tree, I mean, it's might be a coincidence a tree fell on everybody down there, but from what I understand from my friends that still live up there and around there, in the park itself, they already had cut down most of the dead trees just because of that, right? In case they were falling and fall and hurt somebody. So what fell really wasn't supposed to be able to fall. They already cut all that out, all the dead trees out, because, for the safety of the people in the park. So I don't know, but they're going to blame it on that it's dead trees. I don't think so. I actually think something pushed the tree over. And you know what's really weird? I mean, if you look up Bigfoot and trees, okay, if you would have looked that up, say 8 years ago, you would have found hardly nothing on Bigfoots and trees, trees being pushed over. It would be very rare thing, right? It would maybe one or two stories or something that over the years, even if you talk to tribal members up and down in Humboldt where you're at, or even further north, only now they're getting video of these things. Like that one video in Russia where the trees are something. Actually, they videotaped it, pulling it out of the ground and running off with it. A full tree. I mean, two trees pulled out of the ground and ran off. And then there's another one in Canada where the thing chucks the tree and sends it flying for like 60 yards. I mean, and then I don't know how many stories of trees being pushed over. And like one guy I know that I talked to said that his camper, the tree got pushed over and it hit their camper. One guy was pulling in his driveway and something chucked a tree right through his windshield and narrowly missed him and went through to the back seat. I mean, like, there's more tree stuff going on than ever before. It just seems weird to me. Just weird. Like, I'm not saying that there's something, but it seems to be there is something up. Really. Yeah, root ball and all. That's right. And that's, if you guys, everyone should go look at that video. And I'm serious. That is a serious trippy video right there. Yeah, and I've watched it over and over and over. There's only one thing it could be. It's not equipment. It's actually something. You could actually see it. Really, you could see it. Run up to the tree and grab it in one yank and pull the tree up, and then you see the tree running over, running away like that. Like, what in the hell? Like, that would have me running the other way. Jeez. Yeah, it's not a man, no, and it's not a machine either. It's not a machine doing it. That what's his name? Thinker Thunker. He pretty much proved it isn't a machine. That his video. You can look at Thinker Thunker. He breaks it down and does some zoom ins and stuff. I mean, he does a really good job on it. You can really see it good. He's good. Thinker Thunker is pretty good about that. That's one guy I never met. I like to meet that guy one day. Man, could you imagine jousting with a 150-foot pine tree? I mean, wow. Oh my God, ridiculous. And there was two of them. You think that maybe there was like two younger ones showing off on each other, like playing games, like kids are. Like, man, watch this. Run over and grab a tree. Oh man, I could do better than that. You go run over and grab a bigger one and yank it out and take off running with it. Yeah, right. Yeah, I seen those too. Yeah, I'm telling you that, and like everything is off the hook nowadays. Nowadays, everything's off the hook. Hauntings, UFO sightings. I mean, look up UFO sightings. Oh my God! They just had one in Wyoming. It was a cigar-shaped one in Wyoming, flying over Wyoming. Huge cigar-shaped UFO. I mean, just everything is more now. Everything. Just about any weird topic that you can think of is more. Yeah, it is amazing. Yeah, I love Yosemite. I love it too. My grandkids are here living with me right now. I was thinking about taking a drive up there. I'll keep them all, on a leash though, close. I won't let them run around, but everybody has to experience Yosemite. It is beautiful. Maybe I'll wait till springtime because if you go like June, the waterfalls and everything's roaring. You almost can't even talk loud enough to talk because of how loud in the valley the waterfalls are. They're just roaring loud. It's beautiful, beautiful. Right now the water's starting to dwindle, but I hear there's a ton of snow still up there. They still might be rip snorting right now still. I don't know, for sure. Yeah, that's right. You're right, man. Everybody's waking up. Everybody is, and it's kind of fun to see all the sleeping people that for so many years, me and Jeff were on the internet trying to bring awareness to all this stuff, and almost like feeling like we're shouting at the wall. Nobody really cared. A few people got it, would get it, but now you're seeing it on mainstream media. It's starting to hit the news. Like it's a real deal now, man. Yeah, sheeples no more for sure. I believe them because when me and Jeff, we interviewed one of the rangers that retired from there, and she worked at the booth most of the time, taking people's money, to get in the park. But she did other things there. She actually worked there her whole career and retired. And she said that she wondered, every day when she was taking people's money, she wondered which one of those people that's going by not coming out, and they don't know where they're gonna go. So I kind of think it's that way. Yeah, I don't know what to think about Nibiru, but it could be on its way. I mean, all the planets and everything are acting stupid around us. And it's the gravitational pull thing. If the thing's big, it's the sun is going all crazy and having big old giant spots on it that's huge. and ice caps are melting on some of the other planets, and they're acting like there's something in our solar system. Our climate is changing, and it isn't us driving cars around spitting out CO2. I mean, if I want to grow some really good pot, I need CO2, right? You put it in the room and it makes it better. If you're going to grow plants in an aquarium plants, you got to pump CO2. So the car pumps CO2, and then the ocean algae eats it up and the rainforests eat it up. There's a video showing that even. In the winter, the whole atmosphere starts filling up with CO2, but then when spring hits, all of a sudden the CO2 starts getting sucked up, and then in the middle of the summer, there's no CO2 because the plants eat it, and then they make oxygen, and that's what we breathe. So, I mean, that's all a bunch of garbage. These people are garbage that are there. It's a fear thing. I think people are. I think these guys are. They're trying to scare everybody with everything. Shooters, people with knives, the weather, all this stuff. That I mean, they're. It's like fear porn. You know what I mean? They're just trying to scare the crap out of everybody. Don't be afraid, okay? No fear. Arm yourself. And do your research and find out what's really the truth. And there's no fear there, right? Just be smarter than an average person that's sucking up all this stupidity. It's craziness. It's a fear thing. And I think they want everybody afraid. And I'm not afraid. Sorry, I'm not. That's right, divide and conquer. And then, yeah, make everybody hate everybody. It's crazy, man. Anytime, bro. Anytime, I'm ready to go. I'm all healthy and all good to go. I had some scary moments, though. I'll tell you, I'm not gonna lie. That I have 4 heart stents on my heart, and so when my heart started going off crazy, trying to keep the blood pressure up, when the blood pressure dropped so low, I would stand up, and then uh, it would drop my blood pressure like almost to nothing, and then my heart would have to increase pumping really fast to get the blood all over the place because I didn't have enough pressure. So my heart was like freaking pounding out of my chest. Then I started having a heart attack. Oh my God, I was so scared. But I'm not afraid of dying either. Just only when you're in the middle of something and you don't understand what's going on, it's a little bit scary there. I'm not afraid to die though. I already died once, and when I went over there, it doesn't hurt. Okay, really, dying doesn't hurt. It doesn't. So I was just only freaking out, and then people were saying I was avoiding them and stuff like that, and not really. I moved my grandkids in, and they have everybody's phone, everybody's tablet, everybody's laptop. I mean that they even have their own. So as the batteries would die, they don't charge them. They just jump to the next thing. And every time I came across my phone, it was dead. And I put it on the charger, and then when I'd go look for it again, gone. So I'd find it dead again. So really, I wasn't really avoiding people as much as trying to keep my, find my phone and stuff like that. Now I have it. The phone is now off limits. Mine is. My tablet, my laptop, all that stuff. They can have it all they want. This computer, I put it all together, and they're not going to put anything on this. Forget that. I moved it in here and set it up, and they were dying to get on it. They're like, "Oh my God, that's a cool computer!" Like, yeah, it's gonna stay cool too. Oh man, I can't wait. I want some chocolate. I want some chocolate indica. That's want some chocolate indica for dessert. Yeah. Yeah, well, you guys, I've been an hour. I really got to go. I know it's really late for a lot of you. I don't know where you're all at. I know some are on the West Coast, though, just by what they're saying. But, oh man, that is my. I remember saying that. That's Cheech and Chong right there. Cheech and Chong. Got the badass weed. Huh? Oh, I'm gonna come on a lot more now. I promise. Now I'm feeling better. I'm going out with Adolf tomorrow morning. I got to start charging my camera. I got the drone all fired up and ready to go. So it's all charged. Everything's ready to go. I'm gonna charge up the batteries to the mini cam, and I'll be ready to roll tomorrow. We're gonna go see if we can't scare up a big bird or something, get, or even a Bigfoot even, or a dog man. I mean, all that stuff is over in that area right there. But when I come back, I'll probably Monday or Tuesday, I'll jump on again. And now that I have my phone for me again, I'll be like hitting the live thing out and about when I'm out and about. I'll just come on and say hi to everyone and chat. It's good meeting you, man. I think, man. I'm not sure. Greetings to you. It's good meeting you. It's good, actually good hanging out with all you guys. It's therapeutic. I love it. Got to share some, got to share some more stories. Make some memories and stuff. Get Adolf and we'll go camping up at Courtright where he got abducted at. That sounds like fun, huh? Let's make a plan before it gets too cold. But anyways, I'm out of here. Y'all have a great weekend, and I'll be back later to tell you what's. I don't have a 24-hour phone. I need to get one though. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll be back like Monday and let you guys know what happened on Sunday, and we'll keep you all up to date on everything that's going on. And I love all of you, and I've been praying for all of you, and I felt everybody's prayers. I don't think I would be sitting here right now if everybody wasn't praying for me. So keep praying. I'm going to keep praying for all of you. You keep praying for me. I love you guys to death. You guys are the best. I don't know any better people ever. And so there we are. I love you. And I don't know how to turn it off. I forgot. There it is. All right. Good night, guys. We'll see you.